Hello and welcome to Great Deltan. As you can tell from the title of this video, some big changes are about to happen. I've basically decided to dismantle the layout. Now this isn't something I've just decided overnight. It's been playing in my mind for several months now, ever since I found out that I'd be moving next year, and that really is the main reason, among a bunch of other small things. I don't want to put any more time and money into finishing the scenery on this layout if next year it's just going to be ripped up. I've now got 2 children and I work a lot of overtime as we're saving, so I don't have a great deal of time with the layout, which means that even if I did manage to finish all the areas, I'd barely be able to enjoy using it before we moved. The time I do get in the shed is always spent building the layout as opposed to actually running trains, so I'm not even really using it for its primary purpose, which just got me thinking and asking myself, is there really much point in carrying on? As I have progressed with the layout, the standard has become much better throughout, and to complete this last area, over here, to the same standard that meets the quality of the other areas, it would require a lot of time and money, all of which I just don't want to put into this layout anymore, knowing that it will probably never get too much use, and it's all going to get ripped up in 9 months or so anyway. Another factor that doesn't help is the fact that it takes nearly an hour to prepare the layout for running if I wanted all 3 tracks to run. Due to this layout being quite open to the elements and it's not used a great deal, the track does get dirty quickly and I have to use an abrasive rubber to clean the track tops. This takes a long time due to the tunnels and having to be incredibly delicate and steady around the station and the overhead line areas, not to damage any details. On top of that, I then have to load the trains onto the layout from the storage drawer, having not possessed a fiddle yard, which can easily take up to 10 minutes or more for a long freight train. The layout baseboard itself was built quite poorly when I constructed it, meaning that there are several peaks and troughs in the track work. Couple that with the Pecco set track tight curves makes for a very unfriendly running environment for several bits of stock in my collection. Notably my Pendolinos and my long freight trains, which is what I, to be honest, enjoy running most. This again doesn't help with the building up any motivation to use the layout. I guess recently I've just lost interest as well. The last thing to excite me was the Magna Rail, which I did enjoy putting in and was something new, but looking at this last area, thinking about all the scenery and detail I'm going to have to put in now, just seems daunting. That's why this area hasn't progressed at all since the Magna Rail installation. And not even that's working right, to be honest. Yes, obviously I'd love to see the road surrounded by scenery and have the cars travelling down a fully decorated street, but I'm just at the point now where I don't have that commitment. Another less pressing reason for dismantling is that now COVID restrictions have eased. My band is now gigging again regularly, and as it currently stands, all of my music equipment is at my parents' house, which is half an hour away, which of course adds a lot of journey time to each gig I play, as I need to drop everything back too. So it'd be nice to have it all here in the shed. So yes, the layout is coming apart. I'll put that into a separate video as it'll be a very long process, I imagine. The plan is to then even out all the baseboards with a sander, get rid of all the peaks and troughs, and just lay 2 loops of track where the layout used to be. These loops will comprise entirely of flexi track and just be 1 broad radius loop, meaning no tight corners or peaks or troughs for trains to derail or uncouple, hopefully. I can add droppers and fresh fish floats to all the rail bits so I know nothing will stall, and all the tracks will be entirely open with no tunnels, overhead lines or canopies to accidentally damage when track cleaning. So you may be asking now, well, if you're going to be doing that, why not just keep the layout? As I previously said, the layout is just a massive faff to run and I could really use the storage space. With 2 loops and either very basic scenery or none at all, I won't need to access all areas of the layout to work on, so I'll be able to use my operator well for music equipment storage. The broad radius curves mean that I'll be able to run every piece of my stock with no issues. I won't be limited to shorter trains. The fact that I have 2 loops of track means that I can still actually run my locos and won't have to be a long period away from them until I end up in the house eventually. It'll give me a chance to run all of my pre-orders, such as my Mark 5s and my new Pendolino liveries. If and when I do want to run trains, it'll take no more than 5 minutes to clean the track, as it'll all be open, easily accessible, and just there'll be less track to clean. Only 2 loops, no sidings, not 3 tracks. Also, not having to upkeep and build a full functioning layout means I'll have more time to complete my stock projects, such as weathering, detailing, lighting, and passengers/drivers. This is something I hardly ever get time to do currently, as I'm always on the layout. The way I see it, the layout will be torn up in a year anyway, so I may as well do it now, and at least I can still run my trains with a lot less hassle up until the time at which I move, and I won't have anything for a while then. I'm hoping that dismantling will take about a week, and then to sort out and build the new running loops with some basic scenery such as ballasting, grass and a couple of small platforms, another week, and for less than £100. So in terms of YouTube, I understand some of you are quite fond of the layout and was hoping to see it finished before I move, and for that I do apologise. If you wish to unsubscribe from the channel, then obviously I fully understand, as I won't be having the layout. However, I do urge you to hold on, as I'm hoping within 1 to 2 years I'll be settled in the house that I own and can build the layout I've always wanted, a much bigger and permanent space. Until then, I'll continue to bring you updates of what's been going on, new stock reviews, some weathering projects and other little small jobs to talk you through. So yes, as I've said, the layout is coming apart, but I'll be saving as much of it as I can. Unfortunately, the track is well pinned down, glued and weathered, so I won't be saving any of that. All the small details like people, street furniture, road signs and lighting will be saved for future use. Most of the car buildings will be going in the bin, as I hate the sight of them now, except for those ones fitted with lighting. They might be sold on. My town scene scratch builds, as much as I like them, I'll be selling on, as they aren't my best work and I think someone else would appreciate them a bit more than I do now. I'm undecided on my station building, as the whole pull-out section could easily be used as a display piece, but not for future use on the layout, as the building is very specific for this station. The canopies I will be saving, as they are my proudest achievement on the layout. Platform 1 canopy will need to be taken apart, as it's more integrated into the surrounding area. However, the canopies from platforms 2 to 5 can be saved for future use. The Magna Rail, as stated in the installation video, will be saved, as I've not used any glue on the Magna Rail parts, just the cork and card. All of my stock will stay out for the moment, as I am still using it. Obviously, I'll put away all my vehicles and things like that. I'll probably sell my signal gantry if I can remove it in one piece, as I don't particularly like it now. All of the Metcalfe retaining walls I'm hoping to save, as they're the one card kit that doesn't look completely card-like, and they can have future use. So before anyone asks, I do not regret building this layout, as it has allowed me to develop as a modeller and achieve things that I never considered when starting, such as the overhead lines, the station canopies and of course the Magna Rail. It's given me the pleasure of documenting this all and allowing others to share the journey of progression with me, and to be honest, it's just made me happy the last 2 years I've been doing it. So that is the update, and I'll leave you now with some photos and some running shots of these two locos going around the layout, and thank you for watching. It's goodbye for now, but I will be back shortly.